I want to share with you now, this is from Thursday night when an off-duty Garland police officer shot and killed a man in a church parking lot. This was in Rockwall. But since this shooting, the victim's family has said that there would have been a different outcome if the officer had identified himself. Tonight, we have confirmed that the off-duty officer did not, in fact, identify himself. Jay Gormley live in Rockwall with this new information. Jay?
And Doug, Rockwall police are still trying to determine if Troy Poole, the man who was shot to death, either waved, displayed, or actually aimed his gun at the officer. What we do know is that Poole did not have a license to carry the gun. 24 hours after friends and family gathered for a candlelight vigil, Rockwall police are releasing more information about the shooting death of 31-year-old Troy Poole. Investigators say Garland police officer Brandon Hernandez did not identify himself as an officer just prior to the shooting.
Regardless of whether or not he was required to, why didn't he identify himself?
The issue has angered the Poole family. Rockwall police told CBS 11 that after interviewing several witnesses and taking a statement from Hernandez himself, there is no evidence that the off-duty officer identified himself.
Why leave anything to chance? And why not diffuse any situation right there by identifying yourself who you are?
Poole was shot to death Thursday by Hernandez, who was off-duty at the time. Poole was driving home to Royce City when he got into an altercation with another driver. The two men ended up in the parking lot of the Lake Point Church in Rockwall. According to witnesses and police, that's when Hernandez stepped in to break up the argument. Investigators say Poole either displayed or pointed a gun at the off-duty officer, who then opened fire, killing Poole. Most police departments in North Texas, including Garland, Rockwall, and Dallas, do not require off-duty officers to identify themselves when involved in a confrontation. And while the investigation continues, Officer Hernandez is declining comment. Now, we spoke to 3 other police officers in another city department, and they say when an off-duty officer is threatened by a gun, the last thing on his mind is reaching for his badge to identify himself. Most officers go into self-defense mode at that point. Reporting live in Rockwall, Jay Gormley, CBS 11 News.